Hello and welcome to Fuuudat. Now you may notice that this is the first video in a while to feature my face. That is because I've been busy at conventions and such. But I'm hoping with the time I spent off from YouTube that I've been able to make a workable schedule that I can work with as compared to making a bunch of low quality videos that I would release every day. I would instead now release videos every week and therefore be able to put more time into making videos more enjoyable for you to watch. So for that purpose, I have set the videos to have a specific timetable. Each month I will have 4 videos and they will be the following. I will have a week where I will review a certain video game adaptation movie and compare it to the original source video game. And that series will be called VlogDat. And there will also be a week where I play a certain video game. And that series will be called PlayDat. The third week will be a series of videos called Dev Meets, which features videos that I have taken from celebrities that I've met at cons and such. And that may be combined with other videos should my celebrity video reserve ever run dry. And the fourth week will be a free week for me to use however I like. Now, to make it easy for you, every week the videos will be released on a Friday, so they can be known as Fuuudat Fridays, so that you know every Friday that a new video will be up. And for me, that's a much more workable schedule than making a video every day. Now that I've finished boring you guys with all this information you probably don't care about, I will also like to attach a second section to this video where I talk about myself, really, because several months ago, someone called Dane John Cobain, who I'm assuming is related to Kurt Cobain, challenged me to do a video that has 7 facts about myself. And, well, here we go!
Let's party! 7!
I like Dragon Ball. I've always liked Dragon Ball. It was like to be fair, Dragon Ball Z was the first anime I had watched on Toonami. But due to the fact that I didn't have digital television at the time, I could only watch up to the Android Saga because the Cartoon Network that I had, which was foreign, would repeat the Frieza Saga over and over and over again, making it seem longer than it was. I must have seen the Goku touching the Super Saiyan scene about 50 times before the Android Saga finally started, and I was amazed, but then we had to change cable providers and lost access to the Cartoon Network, which caused me to not finish Dragon Ball until quite recently, actually, where I marathoned the rest of the episodes within 3 weeks or such. And, man, some of the reasons they have for extending the show are borderline retarded, but it will always hold a special place in my heart.
6!
I meet a lot of celebrities, ranging from wrestlers to movie actors to internet personalities, as shown here. Yeah, being able to go to a lot of conventions, it's kind of fun, but it gets boring after a while.
5!
Yeah, I cosplay as Kyle from South Park, because that's apparently the only costume I can do. And it's funny because I can actually do the voice for Cartman, but I'm still doing Kyle. I can just like, "Squeak ass again!" And that's my Cartman voice, and everyone loves it. But I've never thought of cosplaying as Cartman. But, that might happen in the future. You never know.
4!
My absolute favorite meal is known as the beef brisket with tendon on rice with 5 spices, which is a Hong Kong Taiwanese dish that's very good, and if you ever have the chance, try it out. And people think that because I'm from Taiwan, I prefer seafood, but no, I prefer this beef dish because it's my favorite, and it goes down a treat with bubble tea, which is fantastic.
3,
I have cerebral palsy, which is a disability that affects my brain, and it stops my brain from using my muscles to their full capacity. For example, I can only use like 10% of it or something, like 10% of my muscles. And it's kind of weird, but I get used to it, and when you learn to deal with it, you deal with it. Yeah. And it's funny that because I was watching Heroes a couple of years ago, and there was a super speedster character called Daphne Millbrook or something. And I found out that as the series went on, that she had cerebral palsy and she went through a lot of stuff I did. And it was kind of cool. Although, when I met her, I let her know, and apparently, the actress actually gave them the idea because a friend of hers had the, I don't know what you want to call it, disease, illness, whatever, before, and they said that like it would add an interesting dimension to the character if she had the disability and adult with super speed, which would be kind of ironic. Um, but yeah, up until I was about 8 years old, I 8 or 10 years old, I forget. I was in a wheelchair until 2002, where I saw a wrestling promo thing, which is a series of clips that hype up a certain wrestler of the wrestler Triple H, also known as the Cerebral Assassin, which is ironic to be in itself, recovering from a injury that supposedly ended his career. Then that single video gave me the inspiration of, well, if he can go from not being able to walk for the rest of his life to being able to wrestle, I thought I could probably get out of this wheelchair. I could probably kick ass and stuff. And here I am, 10 years later, traveling the country, going to conventions. So I guess I owe him a gratitude for playing that video, and if I ever meet him, I will be sure to do that and thank him and all that stuff.
2,
I like competitive gameplay. Stuff like going to tournaments and stuff. Like, I used to go to, like, fighting game tournaments a lot. And, to be fair, I was really bad at it. And, yeah, it was kind of annoying because I used to get really mad because I wasn't that good. But, yeah, now I've moved on to something they call, what was it? League of Legends. And I'm training my ass off, hoping to be as good as I can to be able to play on a competitive level. And when I do, hopefully I'll get sponsored by Red Bull. Because, you know, I have a Red Bull addiction apparently.
1,
I have a comic book addiction. Well, not really comic books in general, but cartoons based off comic books. I love that stuff. I mean, I've watched like every Batman cartoon ever made. I'm currently watching Justice League, like next to me right now. And I've also watched all the X-Men cartoons, all the Spider-Man cartoons. Fun fact about Spider-Man cartoons is they have never had a series that has finished without a cliffhanger. Every single series, the 90s one, Unlimited, you know, the one with the furries, Spectacular, the MTV one, they've all finished on a cliffhanger. Except Ultimate. I hope Ultimate doesn't finish on a cliffhanger, or we'll have the Spider-Man curse forever. But it seems like a good enough cartoon, so give it a shot. And that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it.